Ya estamos en directo. Ya estamos en directo. Bien, espero un tantito, chicos. Tengo un poco de sueño, la verdad. Muy bien. Hey, ¿cómo están, gente de YouTube? Aquí un nuevo directo para el canal de todos los actores nuevamente de Genshin Impact y vamos a hacer las misiones que del evento que no hemos hecho porque ayer salió una, hoy salió otra y mañana saldrá otra. O sea, se está llenando esto de misiones que flipas. Qué tempranas son estas morras. Sí, casi, se puede ser que sí. Hola, Piccolo, muchas gracias por pasarte directo, te lo agradezco mucho, muchas gracias. ¡Ostras!
I was originally thinking of going with him, but he said he could manage it himself. He told me to go see the sights around Fontaine and to enjoy the local culture. So I rode the aqua bus with Yoimiya and visited the opera house on Aranias Island. Yeah, you wouldn't believe what we saw there. 2 mechanical puppets that were dancing together. You've already seen them, right?
Sí, el funeral de Copelia.
Yeah, those two. Amazing, aren't they?
Sí, me lo chingué varias veces, pero no, ya perdí la cuenta de tantas veces lo he hecho.
It was mesmerizing. Like we could keep watching them forever.
Oh, it was the same for us the first time we saw them too.
Sí.
We went swimming at the beach. Well, diving to be exact. It was the first time I ever breathed underwater. I held Ayaka's hand and we counted down together. 3, 2, 1, and then...
Al agua patas.
We were beneath the waves.
Vaya referencias. Increíbles referencias que hace Genshin.
At first, I didn't dare to open my mouth. But once I couldn't hold my breath any longer, I decided to take a big breath in. Turns out the water wasn't as salty as I imagined. It didn't really taste like anything at all. Before I knew it, I was breathing like normal down there. It was an amazing feeling. Waka said I was too nervous and needed to loosen my grip. She got used to everything way faster than I did. I knew that the Traveler could do it, so I had no doubt we could do it too. That helped me feel at ease as soon as...
Cómo te encanta pensar en la viajera.
The underwater world in Fontaine truly is beautiful. I love seeing the Romaritime flowers blossoming underwater, like little candles lighting up the streets at night. Yeah, and there were so many creatures that we've never seen in Inazuma.
¿Qué esperabas?
Those fish that shimmer like a sword blade. Whoosh! Oh, and those big fish that call when they see people.
Vaya la Yoimiya.
I just love the name Blubber Beast. Just wait till Pops and the others hear about this. They probably won't believe a word I say.
Increíble. Qué bueno que te divirtieras, innombrable. Hola Mario, muchas gracias por pasarte directo, te lo agradezco mucho, muchas gracias.
Yoimiya was down there for quite a while. It was dark before we finally rode the aqua bus back to the city. I figured she'd want to sleep in today. Yeah, even I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get up. I still felt like I was drifting in the waves when I went to sleep last night.
Espero que te divirtieras, innombrable.
Today, I remembered that we'd all be shooting a film together, and I was ready to go.
Speaking of the film,
my brother and Xavier were speaking to the restaurant owner about using the place as a filming location. They should be here soon.
Muy bien.
As for the others, we're here.
Shori y ya llegó la Chevreuse.
Please excuse my tardiness.
Chevreuse.
Finish the special patrol's 6-mile morning jog.
wait, 6 miles?
¿Qué? Eso es toda la vida.
I'm so tired. I heard you all chatting, so I decided to come down. I sure could use some of that endless energy everyone else has.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. Can someone fetch me a cup of coffee? More milk,
Aló,
more
tú,
sugar.
floja, huevona.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that for
Tú
you.
eres demasiado amable.
You can't go anywhere. Please, have a seat over here so I can get started on your makeup. The last thing I want is coffee stains on my costumes.
I can get the coffee. It's the perfect job for an assistant.
Sí, trabaja tú innombrable. No, la batería de la computadora.
So much energy. Seriously, what's her secret?
Oh, your kids always
Es que pierde como 4 veces, es la técnica.
Farina. It's because you're not used to waking up so early, huh?
Of course not. I spent the whole night reading the novel from cover to cover, marking sections that either need to be omitted or adapted.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect you to be so thorough.
Well, I was the biggest star in Fontaine after all. It takes more than just a pretty face to earn a reputation like that.
Sí, claro.
I know how to get serious when the situation calls for it. I went all out when I was acting as an Archon, so why wouldn't I do the same?
Bueno, tienes razón. Me gusta tu manera de pensar.
Happy Director Farina.
Oh, thank you. The sound of being called director and the aroma of coffee feels almost as refreshing as hearing the birds chirping in the morning.
Ah, it seems everyone has managed to arrive on time.
Ya llegaron. Esos dos deben ser los otros dos que cubrirán los puestos.
We are free to use the second floor to shoot our film.
Really? That's great!
He is really looking forward to our film and hopes that providing his restaurant as a filming location will attract more customers. Well then, Mr. Xavier, I'll leave the rest to you. Okay, thanks. First, I'd like to introduce our new members. This is our prop manager, Veronique. She'll be in charge of all the film's props and items. And this is Bono, our lighting technician. He'll be in charge of lighting and illumination to set up
Muy
each
bien.
scene's atmosphere.
Mucho gusto.
Wow. Sure feels like we have some real professionals joining the crew now.
Claro que sí.
First of all, please allow me to first express my sincerest gratitude to everyone in the crew. When my investor informed me yesterday that he wouldn't be able to provide the funds, I really thought that this was the nail in the coffin for this film. I had no idea that I'd find so many people willing to help me on such short notice. Thank you.
A excepción de la arrogante. Esa sí quiere pagar.
No need to be so cordial, Mr. Xavier. We're all honored to be a part of this.
Your works made a profound impression on me when I saw them back in Inazuma. I am sure that someday, this film will be remembered as a prime example of cultural exchange between Fontaine and Inazuma.
Yes, the story is the reason I agreed to join. I can't bear to
Sí, claro.
imagine what this film would look like without the very best director.
Le voy a empatar el trasero.
I would like to make a promise to everyone that as the producer of this film, I'll do whatever I can to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. This is not just my film. It also embodies the thoughts and feelings of every person here, as well as the endless effort we are about to pour into it.
Ya tengo que cortarme el pelo.
So, without further ado, the Two Musketeers will officially begin filming now!
Qué bueno que me puedes aplaudir.
You may take it from here, Director Farina.
All right, listen up, everyone. The first scene takes place when the two young musketeers are living at the Baron's home, still unaware of all that is about to happen to them. We'll need props and lighting to set the scene. Our lead actors can go get their makeup done, and extras, please take this time to go over your positions.
Whoa. Seems Farina's really kicking things into gear as the director.
Is everyone clear? I don't want anyone traipsing around the set like umbrella finches. All start rolling as soon as the set is ready. Let's make a film that'll make
Ya
some
veremos.
serious waves in Fontaine.
Confía en tu juicio, Furina, basta, vale.
Not the kind of waves that drown people. I mean, the good kind of waves.
Sí, entendemos.
Seems like she's still a bit traumatized by that.
Es normal. No se olvide, eso no se supera tan fácilmente después de pasar esos 500 años.
We can do to help.
Realidad y ficción, dentro y fuera del visor. Y esta parece la introducción, me cago en todo. ¿Dónde estoy? A ver, innombrable.
How about here?
A little more to the left.
You got it.
Hey, Yoimiya, do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine. You know, doing the lighting is kind of like designing a fireworks show. It's interesting to imagine what kind of atmosphere the lights will create.
Qué buena motivación innombrable.
Traveler will be operating the
A
camera.
este personaje le voy a estar diciendo así, chicos. No quiero que me pregunten por qué.
Those rules are just perfect for the two of you.
Really? Is that because it'll be easy for Paimon to hold the clapperboard while flying?
Well, sure, there's that, but that's not exactly what I meant. I just think that after all your journeys together, you two must have developed a super close bond and just naturally know how to work with each other. If I'm not mistaken, the director will want the cameras rolling as soon as the clapperboard goes clack. Oh, I see. It's amazing to see the magic behind filmmaking.
¿Cuánta energía tiene la juventud?
We need lights over there, too.
Oh, on it! I've got to get back to work. Chat with you later. Oh, it's exciting to see so many people working together to bring the film to life.
Seems like Yoimiya's really getting into it. But she was right. We do have a super close bond, don't we?
¿De verdad te hace falta preguntarlo?
Paimon's really happy to hear that.
Serio que tengo que cortarme urgentemente el pelo ya. A ver. Oh, Ayato, ya te están trabajando, Diosito santo. Yo no me gustaría estar en tu posición, Ayato.
Ayaka has mentioned you to me before. She said that you two were great friends when you were kids.
No talking. I'm thinking about how to do your eyeshadow.
Ah, yes. To help me really look the part.
To achieve a more young and naive look for this scene.
Are you saying the wrinkles around my eyes are too deep?
You just have too much of a calculating look in your eyes.
You sure don't mince your words. It seems you really haven't changed much.
Quiet.
Prepárate para grabar. ¿Dónde? No, estoy listo, chicos.
So, this is a real musket?
No, it's just a prop weapon. Not bad. Have you seen a real musket before? Only in books and newspapers. I made this one based on the relative shape and proportions I saw in reference images.
Vaya, pues te queda muy bien, ¿eh?
Some special gunpowder will be applied around the muzzle, which will help create the flash and smoke effects of a real gun being fired.
Vaya.
Which means it'll be up to the actors to portray the recoil. That's right. The sound effects for
En la
gunshots will also
postproducción.
be added in post-production. Thank you, Veronique. I think I know where to start now. However, the musket's gears and firing pin could still use some work. Adding some wear on the metallic components will make them appear more realistic. Also, be sure to rub the muskets with some oil each time before we start shooting. That'll give the impression that the firearms have been well maintenanced. Good point.
Hola, Bellito. Muchas gracias por pasarte directo. Te lo agradezco mucho. Muchas gracias.
Firearms on a regular basis?
Yes, I perform routine maintenance on my weapons every day. Just like we as people need to eat and sleep, muskets need to be cleaned and maintained.
I also perform similar care for my sword every day and familiarize myself with its shape and weight to the point where it feels like a natural extension of my body.
En la suma tiene un cuidado muy parecido al de las armas de fuego, pero en vez de sus armas de combate,
Well said.
que sean las espadas, lanzas, eso.
On this topic.
Oh, sounds like they found a common interest to talk about.
Though these props differ from the muskets I use, I can still give you some pointers.
Good. I look forward to your instruction.
Allá causando pistola, algo que nunca pensé que iba a suceder en mi vida.
whether you're holding it or it's on the table. This holds for any time when you're not actively engaging an enemy.
Okay, understood.
When aiming the musket, extend your arm so that it's level with your shoulder, and use your eye to look down the weapon's sights.
Like this?
Ay, Dios, ten cuidado.
Now,
Puedo
do
jugar
the
contra
same
ella el
with
juego de
eyes.
miradas.
This is the end of the road for you.
Tranquila, tranquila.
Turn your body a little. That way, you'll give your enemy less of a target to work with. And relax your shoulders. Here, allow
Puedo
me to
jugar
do this.
contra ella el juego de
This is
miradas.
the end of the road for you.
Vaya.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori. Director Farina, there's something I wish to discuss with you.
¿Qué pasa, Yer? ¿Acaso serás papá? ¿Qué? ¿Estás loco?
Like this?
Yes, much better.
What do you think?
¿A qué te refieres con que seré papá?
I do see your point. But are you sure you wish to do this?
I believe it would be most fitting.
Well, if you insist. All right, I understand.
¿De qué hablaban ustedes? Comenten. Cuéntenlo.
Miss Ayaka, Miss Chevres, could the two of you please come over here?
Huh? What's going on? Are we gonna start filming now?
Let's go see.
A ver, ¿qué pedo?
What is it?
I have a question for you, Miss Chevres. Would you be willing to play the role of a musketeer?
What?
Ya sabía que ya te...
I would like to turn over my role to Miss Chevres.
But brother,
Don't worry, Ayaka. I actually view this as a good thing. I was becoming troubled trying to set aside some time to speak to the staff at the Palais Marmonia. I would like to have some conversations.
¿Quién fue la portada? ¿Cómo se llama el niño o niña? No sé de qué me estás hablando.
I've heard that the bureaucratic process here can get rather complicated. Now I will be able to focus on my work. Besides, you also know that I'm not really...
Aparte, yo soy soltero. Solo tengo una novia una vez en mi vida.
are you sure?
From a director's point of view, I also felt like the relationship between the two musketeers in the original story could be improved. The older brother in the story plays the lead role with his overbearing character, but this causes his character to overshadow that of his sister, and the theme of the two supporting and relying on each other isn't conveyed very well. But if we were to change the siblings to two sisters of a similar age, then that aspect of the story might come through more clearly. Also, I've seen you instructing Ayaka. That cold and dignified personality is exactly what we need for the older musketeer.
Of course, even with all these insights, the decision should still be made by Miss Chevres.
Chevres mentioned that she really likes the story, right? Paimon bets that she'll take the role.
All right, I'll take the role.
Muy bien. Dijiste que ayer te pasó algo. ¿Qué pasó ayer? No, no pasó nada ayer. No sé de qué hablas. Simplemente no hice directo y ya.
To the lighting, props, and costumes. I have a feeling that our adaptation will be even better than the original story.
You're doing a great favor for me, Miss Chevres. You have my gratitude.
Simplemente no hice directo y se supone que ayer debía haberse hecho directo porque la misión que estoy haciendo ahorita salió ayer y no sabía eso.
Who brought up the idea?
Pero es todo lo que pasó ayer, no hice directo y subí como 2 videos y 2 shorts. Es
I
todo.
look forward to working with you.
Please, just call me Chevres.
Seems like you're really going out of your way to solve the problem I was having with your makeup.
Surely you jest, Chiori. I assure you that I was mostly motivated by a desire to spend more time on formal business.
Oh, come on. You really think I'd buy that? According to what I've heard from Ayaka, her brother is someone who can juggle 10 different matters at the same time. I'm sure you have other reasons for backing out.
Perhaps. Ayaka always said she wanted to go out and see more of the world, just like the traveler. But I feel that she needs not only to see other nations, but also to make some different kinds of friends. I think it would be harder for her to make new connections with me constantly by her side. I would like to give her some space.
All right, go on. Spoil her some more.
Ayato, it's too bad you're stepping down from the role. Paimon really wanted to see you act as a musketeer.
Este exagero.
No need to poke fun at me. I'd wager that you also felt that I wasn't the best candidate for the role.
It's a little hard for Paimon to imagine you saying those lines.
Yes, I've made an appointment to meet some people from the Palais Mermonia. Now, I will have some more time to prepare.
Traveler, get the camera ready. Paimon, get the clapperboard. Actors to your positions.
A mí no me das órdenes.
Start shooting the first scene.
Ah, demonios, sí me da órdenes. Vive en una piña debajo del
Okay,
mar.
Ayaka.
Bob Esponja. Muy bien. No puedo creer que me esté dejando llevar por las órdenes de Purina. Le quiero matar. A ver, vamos.
Now that we're all here, let me help set the scene for everyone.
No manches, el tamaño de la cámara.
The first scene takes place when our two main characters are still living at the Baron's estate. They've been ostracized and verbally abused by others in the household, but they still have no idea why. We want to capture how naive and innocent they are, despite their pain.
¿Cuál es la misión, Capta? La misión es hacer una película. Increíble. Bueno, aquí se llamaría proyecto quinográfico. Terrotipo. ¡Acción! ¿Cuál es la misión, Capitán Silver? Hacer una escena quinográfica.
You know how she loves flowers.
Iris, Tulip, I'm home.
A ver.
Mother, you were out for so long. We were beginning to worry about you. I'm sorry, but I'm back now, safe and sound. Here, I brought your favorite treat.
Se siente raro hacer esto en Genshin Impact, les juro por Dios. Soy veterano en Genshin Impact. Empecé desde los inicios de este juego. Creo que empecé ese juego un mes después de su salida. Y se siente raro hacer este tipo de cosas. O sea, yo siempre, en los eventos siempre hay tipo de pelea. En la película es por ¿cómo lo haremos? Sí, me acuerdo que los personajes lo habían explicado en la misión pasada. Yo te recomendaría que vieras el directo pasado que hice el martes, que creo que es directo. ¿Tú no estuviste? Porque ahí lo explican. Creo que se llama, déjame decirte cómo se llama el directo donde explican todo eso. Un disparo que rompe el silencio. Yo ya había hecho ese directo el día martes. Esta misión que estoy haciendo debía haberla hecho ayer y hoy tengo que hacer 2 misiones, a ver si me agarra el tiempo. Sí que bueno, es un poco raro. Dicen, según yo, la escena quinográfica se llama Dos Mosqueteros, los Dos Mosqueteros, que se trata de una familia que su padre, no recuerdo si murió o las abandonó, ya no me acuerdo perfectamente de qué es lo que había pasado. Y pues bueno, la madre terminó trabajando de sirvienta en una mansión con sus 2 hijas. Bueno, era un hijo y una hija, pero ahora hubo un cambio de personajes, ahora que son dos. Oye, no estuve que yo no estuve en ese directo. Sí, porque me acuerdo perfectamente que no estuviste en el directo pasado. El día martes yo había hecho el directo como a las 9:30 más o menos y creo que no estuviste. Pues bueno, después de un tiempo la mamá creo que la asesina el dueño de la mansión y y al final se hace de que al final la conclusión de que la madre se suicidó, pero eso no es verdad porque las niñas sabían. Y pues bueno. Después las niñas se van de la mansión, pero tiempo después al tipo que mató a su madre le empiezan a pasar cosas muy malas y pues eso, y resulta que todo era obra de las 2 niñas que se escaparon de la mansión. Así que bueno.
What bruises? Oh,
Te hice un pequeño resumen de lo más o menos que me acuerdo.
But I didn't notice them this morning.
Perhaps they're from when I accidentally tripped when I was out just now. By the way, did you have fun playing at home? What's the matter, Iris?
Es que es neta, siento raro haciendo esto, siendo yo veterano de Genshin Impact. Esto es una misión muy extraña, chicos. Sé que lamento cómo estoy actuando, pero sí se me hace muy extraño ver esto en Genshin Impact, muy extraño.
Well, we've realized that
Suficiente, ya entendí todo, no entendió nada.
They even took Iris's doll and spat at us.
and they even called us names. They said we were
La voz de Ayaka, ¿cómo le hizo para cambiarla? ¿Cómo le hizo para cambiarla?
Girls, listen to me.
A ver.
It doesn't matter what anyone says. Don't listen to them. No one can define
Genshin
you.
empezó en el 2020. Sí, literal, lleva 3 años Genshin Impact ya.
Just like
Salió en septiembre de 2020, si no lo recuerdo.
beautiful flowers.
El 28 creo que fue exactamente.
Hasn't quite come yet, but one
Y pues bueno, he jugado cada uno de los eventos que ha salido a partir de ese día. He visto cada personaje, cada banner de evento, todo yo lo he visto, todo. Y me siento raro al ver esto, es muy diferente a lo que estoy acostumbrado. Corte.
not bad. The actor's emotions were all on point. Let's keep that take. Also, if our clapper loader could avoid shouting at the start of the scene.
Esto me acuerdo de una película por...
got it.
Great. I was a little worried that my nerves would get the better of me. What about you, Chevros?
I felt fine. The lines weren't too difficult at all. Seems like Farina must have adapted the role nicely.
You two were great. I couldn't tell it
Kinografía.
was acting in a film. You should have more confidence.
Thank you for your encouragement.
Positions, everyone! We'll move on to the next scene after we try a few more camera angles.
Muy bien. Relaja a buen ritmo y tras encargarse algunos detalles, Furina ordena pasar a la segunda escena. ¡Yay!
This scene is when our two characters return.
No dije nada, no dije nada, dice.
Your mother has been murdered.
Luces, daguerrotipo,
Lights,
acción.
camera, action!
Mother, we're back. Mother,
Interpretada por Kamisati Yaka.
what's wrong, Tulip?
Iris, stay.
Oye, mensajes de pasado.
Why? What's... Mother!
Vaya, pero qué actuación.
Mother... She's...
Ya el mensaje te pasado. Sí, ya lo olvidé, no te preocupes.
There's poison in this cup.
I could have sworn I've seen this kind of cup before.
Those aristocrats. They didn't even try to cover up their actions.
Pero Dios, qué actriz es la Yaka, Diosito Santo, estoy conmovido.
Iris, we need to leave this place.
Leave? But now that Mother is gone, where can we even go?
Anywhere. All I know is that we can't stay in this house.
Esos sonidos pueden ser fácilmente mal pensados. ¿Perdón?
Just going to let them get away.
Es solo lloriqueo de parte de Ayaka.
We'll have our revenge, I promise you. Just not right now.
Eso se está tomando algo diferente.
Come on. Let's go.
No, wait. We can't just leave Mother here like this. At least let me leave this rose with her. That's why we went out in the first place. To buy her this flower.
All right. Goodbye, Mother. We'll avenge you. Someday.
And cut!
Quiero jugar LOL, fúnenlo.
Beautiful! Great performance!
No, hasta crees que voy a tocar ese juego. Nunca voy a tocar el LOL. Nunca.
I was surprised too.
Thank you for the kind compliments. Actually, as soon as Director Farina said action, I told myself not to think about
No voy a caer, es una gran actriz.
felt the weight of the moment.
Denle un premio, por favor, a esa mujer.
It's quite similar to practicing.
Denle el GOTY, por favor.
You clear your mind and focus
Ah, no, el GOTY es otra cosa.
in front of you. Ayaka's performance was amazing. Have I discovered an acting prodigy?
Pipe down, everyone! We need to move on to the next scene!
Sí, Ayaka es mejor que tu Purina. A ver, espérame tantito. Ay, me estoy presente. A ver, listo. Ya, perdón. Aplausos. Sí, esa Ayaka es una gran actriz. Por favor, que le den un premio, Diosito Santo, a la mejor actriz del mundo. Me emocioné yo. ¿Cuánto tiempo llevamos de directo? Llevamos 31 minutos. Si las misiones se mantienen normal, probablemente ya falten como unos 10 minutitos para que se acabe la primera misión. O de hecho ya se está acabando. Merece un Oscar. Eso, gracias por recordarme cómo se llamaban los premios. Muchas gracias por recordármelo, Villito. Un Oscar. Ayaka se merece un Oscar, por favor.
How do you feel, Traveler? Is your arm sore from holding the camera all day?
Sí, pero me gustó mucho la experiencia.
Work, you two.
Otra vez, Bruce. Me imagino que me vas a preguntar por eso.
The actress today.
I've read this novel many times before. I have a good grasp of my character's mindset. Anyway, do you remember my request from yesterday?
Sí, perfectamente me acuerdo.
Right! We were having so much fun that Paimon nearly forgot. You have a case where the murders seem really similar to the cases in the novel, right? So, how are they similar exactly?
In the story, the main characters grow up to become two musketeers, always using their guns to carry out their revenge. And on each of the victims, they place a rainbow rose as a signal that they've returned. Yes.
31 minutos, Tulio. Bodoque, Mario, Hugo, el señor Manguera. Ok.
Connecting the dots now.
Oh, that does sound pretty concerning. Especially after seeing the script today. Ooh, now Paimon can't stop wondering what kind of ulterior motive the murderer might have. What do you think, Traveler? You're smart. Paimon wants to hear your thoughts.
Sí, te ayudaremos.
On behalf of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, thank you for your dedication to justice. There's no time to lose. We should start investigating right away. Follow me.
Huh? Right now? Well, we just got done filming all day.
Nunca viste 31 minutos. Sí, me acuerdo haberlo visto unas pocas veces, pero fueron muy mínimas.
They are like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea. If you don't stay vigilant, you will
Muy
pass
poco.
away in the
Vi
fog.
muy poquito 31
That's how one
minutos.
of my favorite books always puts it, at least.
Muy bien, vamos con Bruce.
Where are we going right now?
Let's start by checking out some workshops that sell mechanical components. If the culprit is making their own weapons, it's very likely that they'll visit those sort of places.
Welcome to LeChaux's Clockwork Workshop. How can I help you?
Hello. I'd like to know if anyone has purchased some special components lately.
Special components? Sorry, could you be more specific?
I mean the kind of components that aren't typically used for clockwork toys, but for firearms.
Huh? For firearms? No, we don't sell those sort of things here.
Don't misunderstand. I'm not here to cause any trouble. We are merely investigating a case, and we're hoping that you could cooperate.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure what kind of components that would entail.
Has anyone ever purchased components here as an individual rather than on behalf of an organization?
We have a lot of customers who buy toys, but
Así es, Genshin Impact. Mucha Biblia, la verdad.
on behalf of their organization.
Is that so? I understand. Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome. It's the least
No hay negar el hecho de que este evento sí llega a estar y las peleas es lo que yo me estoy preguntando. Es lo que te digo, he estado en tantos juegos, he estado en todos los eventos de Genshin Impact y la primera vez que me encuentro en un evento que hay una pelea es complicado. Es la primera vez que me pasa eso en un evento, o sea, ni siquiera los gritos de la linterna que no tiene. Y Fortnite ahorita lo estoy dejando un poquito de lado porque no estoy tan interesado en jugar Fortnite ahorita. Pero tengo que seguir con la serie de Militar Lego y la serie de Minecraft. Estoy esperando a mis amigos para seguir con la serie, porque si no, no puedo seguir avanzando, porque la serie es entre
Run
nosotros.
out of oil for your musket again? Hello, Estelle. I want to know if anyone
Así que la serie de Minecraft de ahorita está un
some
poquito
firearms.
paralizada, pero no se preocupen, porque sí vamos a seguir.
Is this another case? Let me
Y los demás juegos, pues
I don't think
ahorita,
so.
como es un evento de Genshin Impact, los eventos grandes yo sí los transmito, porque estos son los importantes. Ya los eventos chiquitos no los hago a menos de que sea algo pequeño. O sea, algo que valga la pena, como los eventos pequeños de combate.
only make things here that can do some real heavy lifting. I don't have the energy to make some new molds just for the festival. Then has anybody come specifically looking for mechanical components? Well, I usually sell off my scrap to the fleuve cendre. I don't typically give them to one specific person. I understand. Thanks for your cooperation. Don't mention it. Always happy to have the Musketeers' patronage.
Es el hijo mayor de
We
Cronos.
haven't found any leads to go off yet.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Vamos al río Ceniciento.
Let's head to Fleuve Cendre next.
Huh? Are you sure? People might not be so thrilled to see the captain of the special patrol there.
You think so, huh?
Huh? No what?
That I grew up in Fleuve Cendre.
Ah, chinga. Ok, eso no me lo iba a venir. Arriba hay una conversación. Ah, ya te vi.
Hello, I'd like to ask some questions.
I don't know anything.
Ay, no hemos dicho nada.
You say that now.
It's the truth. Here, take this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the special patrol bribing a citizen?
Shh, cállate.
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Fleuve Cendre lately? Anything at all?
Muskets, huh? All I know
Sabes que siempre me quedo hasta el final de los directos, pero esta vez no podré. No te preocupes, igual te agradezco mucho que te pases por los
With
directos.
gunshots.
Possibly. It's hard to tell around here.
Tú puedes durar el tiempo que tú puedas, no te preocupes. Si quieras, si quieres sacar de ver el directo, no te preocupes. O si estás ocupado también, no te preocupes. Yo voy a seguir aquí
Do you
porque
know
tengo
where
que
the
hacerlo.
noise we're coming from?
Pero bueno, ahora sí se agradece mucho que pasen el directo.
Is it that you don't remember, or that you need to think about it some more?
You tell me.
Then please, think about it some more.
She's giving her even more Mora.
The noises came from the end of the southern waterway. I came out and had a look for myself when I wasn't sleeping well, but I didn't dare get too close. That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pat de fruit.
Tu fiel compañero abandonará el barco. Voy a decir barco porque el otro puede que sí me
I'm new
censuren.
here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk. Seems you catch on.
Nos vemos, Bellito. Muchas gracias por haberte pasado directo. Se te agradece mucho. Gracias. Quiero una bebida muy fresca, por favor.
It's been a while, Tetro.
Please, just get on with your request.
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking about muskets lately.
Information isn't free, you know.
I've heard that bandits have been extremely active in the countryside recently, and they've been affecting the delivery of goods to Poisson.
You're still as helpful as ever.
Siempre es tan fácil hablar
Finn was
contigo.
drunk at dinner about a month ago and lost his gun. 3 days later, it turned up in the corner here.
What's weird about that? He just forgot where he put it, right?
This is Fleuve Cendre, my friend. Anything of value left in the tavern won't ever make it to the next day. But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get any new wear and tear on it.
Vaya por Dios. Bueno, hasta cuando hagas otro directo, otra vez, Silver. Adiós. Adiós, Fellito. Muchas
I
gracias.
suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
You mean a criminal was afraid the Marechaussee Phantom would use the shot marks to track them down? Maybe. But if that's the case, the culprit really took great care to avoid getting caught.
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Fleuve Cendre, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today. It's the guy living in the east side, isn't it? I've never liked him. Every time he's here, he just orders a drink and sits there with a nasty look in his eyes.
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Don't bother. Even if you ask, he wouldn't admit to owning a gun to some strangers. Not to mention the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
He's right.
I know you grew up here, Chevres. Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too long. Not many people know you here now, and a lot of people don't like the Special Patrol.
I know.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here. It's for your own safety.
I'll come and go as I please. And I'm afraid I'll be appearing more often due to my work.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Muy bien, en una suerte se ve que se preocupa por Sir Brooks. Muy bien, desafortunadamente mi mal presagio atinó. Esa misión se está alargando y mucho. Ya llevamos cuánto tiempo directo, 41 minutos. No voy a leer eso, Bellito, no voy a leer eso. No me quiero ahogar por accidente.
What's all this? Some broken planks and...
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up. These are obviously marks from musket bullets.
Vaya, vaya.
In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot. They were using the barrels and bottles for target practice.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Fleuve Cendre own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots.
Momento, ¿te puedes ahogar? Claro que te puedes ahogar. Bueno, estamos en Ponte y se supone que aquí nadie podría ahogar, pero igual creo que no correré el riesgo si me pondré ruina, porque luego cuando te ahogas pierdes vida y pierdes las suertes cargadas, así que no me arriesgaré.
Feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then their timeline was probably something like this. A month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble it. Once he'd figured out its mechanics, he brought it back. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own makeshift musket, and took it then, a few days ago. He found his target and carried out the murder. Once the deed was done...
Bueno, adiós. Adiós, Bellito. Muchas gracias por haberte pasado directo. Te agradezco mucho. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos.
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
¿Quién era la víctima?
Resident of Fleuve Cendre. It said that he was a poor, solitary man. Yeah, that's also something I'm trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased didn't have any enemies. He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his body. What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom exactly? We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well. He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. There are also records of him at an orphanage before then. In the story, the mother of the 2 musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could have changed the children's ages, but I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would pull the trigger to kill a man.
Then, what should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day. How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film. I'm sure that...
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago? Wouldn't you just miss them if you were to stop looking?
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
Oh? What else did it say then?
Guay.
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
Crear y ficción, dentro y fuera del visor. Oigan, la otra transmisión ya está disponible, así que desafortunadamente tengo que hacerla. Espera 8 días el siguiente día.
Anyway, let's head out and meet up with the others.
Ahí vamos. La isla entre la bruma. Buenos días, no puede ser. Se me está pasando rápido el tiempo.
Good work, everyone. We're looking to wrap with our 2 main ladies today. I can already smell our success.
What do you mean, looking to rap? Oh, aren't you the expert now?
Claro que sí.
This upcoming scene is the 2 musketeers' final confrontation with the Baron. There will be quite a bit of action. But anyway, get ready.
Errotipo. Acción.
Action!
The view is beautiful tonight. It reminds me of that fateful night 10 years ago.
Se ven igualitas, pero bueno.
And now that I've said it, I can even make out the faint fragrance of herbal tea in the air.
Enough, villain. It's time that you pay for the death of our mother.
My dear Iris, have you forgotten your manners? How can you speak like this to your own father?
I'd sooner swallow all of my teeth than call you father.
What did I expect? Seems the daughters have turned out to be just as obstinate as their foolish mother. In this world, mora and status is everything. She thought she could blackmail me using her children and force me to grant her recognition and concessions? Ah, how naive can a woman be?
Mother never asked a single thing of you. All she wished was for us to live a peaceful life, just like the others.
It was you who personally brewed the poison of prejudice and sent Mother to her death. Compared to that deadly poison, the 2 bullets that will soon pierce through your heart will be like sweet mercy.
And that's exactly why I said you're just as naive as her. Did you really think 2 muskets would be enough to defeat me? So let's see. What is stronger? Mora and power, or the 2 muskets in your hands? Get them!
Ah, pelea.
There are too many of them. It'll be okay. We'll
Oh,
cover each other
vamos a
up.
usar esta.
And Mother will be watching over us too.
No mames, mi puntería está mala con el Fortnite. ¡Oh, la madre! Está bien chida.
You've lost.
To think I'd lose to my own 2 kids.
We are no children of yours, and we'll never call that place our home.
Then tell me, what did you do all this for? You lost your mother, and will soon kill your father as well. What will you gain in the end, other than sentences for your crimes?
We will gain our long-awaited justice.
Calla.
It's over.
Finally.
Esta Yaka tan buena actriz que es, Dios santo.
So, where will you go now, Tulip?
I'm not too sure, Iris. Maybe somewhere with lots of flowers? After all, Mother always did love going where the blossoms were. What about you?
I want to go visit Mother's grave.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
¿Cómo llegamos a este punto? No preguntes.
Tulip, look!
What is it?
It's Mother's favorite. The rainbow rose. Look, it's blooming again.
Let's go.
Excellent! That was beyond mesmerizing. Even I didn't expect the scene to go so well. And we got it in a single take. All right, everyone. We've got a wrap for Tulip and Iris.
Congratulations, Ayaka and Chevron!
Qué actuación tan sublime.
Thank you. I didn't expect our parts to wrap so quickly. I wish I could savor the experience for just a bit longer. Paimon totally understands. Paimon's not ready to say goodbye to the clapperboard either. Filming has really been a lot of fun. You were great too, Chevron. The way you said, long-awaited justice. It gave Paimon chills.
Muy buena actriz también es
My
Everest.
favorite line in the whole book. I still remember trying to act it out in my room the first few times I read it.
Oh, Paimon would have never guessed you're that type.
Who doesn't like stories where the guilty are punished and justice prevails over evil? Don't forget, I'm the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Captain, I have something urgent to report. Please excuse me, everyone. I'll be back in just a moment.
Muy bien.
It's okay, don't worry about us.
Oh? Was she whisked away by work already? I was just about to tell her how great she did.
It seemed like some urgent official business.
Then perhaps we should thank the stars that we were able to wrap both of your parts so quickly today. Switching around the filming schedule would have been a real pain. Anyway, I actually came over to let everyone know that we're all done for today. You can go home and get some rest.
Muy bien, ya me valgo.
And one last thing, Miss Ayaka. Your acting skills today were immaculate as always. Are you sure you won't consider taking up full-time acting? See, I just happen to know this great...
Desafortunadamente es de la comisión Yashiro. No puede pasarse a otra tan
Thank
así.
you for your kind words, Director Farina. Unfortunately, there are still many matters that I have to take care of back home at the Yashiro Commission. I cannot remain in Fontaine to pursue an acting career. Nevertheless, I will make sure to treasure this incredible opportunity in my heart.
a shame, but I understand. Just let me know if you ever change your mind.
I believe it's also about time for me to take my leave. But hopefully I'll see you on set over the next few days. Even though my part's wrapped, I'd still like to swing by and help out the crew. See you tomorrow, Traveler and Paimon.
Nos vemos allá acá. ¿Cuánto tiempo llevamos? Ya 55 minutos.
Maybe we'll go investigate the case some more with Shep.
Traveler, Paimon, please come with me.
Ya te estabas tardando.
Where are we going?
You could say that our ship has finally chanced upon one of those small, remote islands of intel.
Muy bien, vamos. ¿Dónde está la misión? Ah, ya la vi. No manches, estaba bien lejos. Que me presten a Chevrus otra vez, quiero volverlo a usar. Está bien chido el personaje.
Paimon's exhausted. Paimon definitely didn't expect having to float.
¡Deja de llorar!
The full day of filming.
¡Tú flotas!
Oh, Chevras, why did you take us here?
Affirmative. It wasn't anything conclusive, but it should show us a clear way forward. Have you ever heard of someone by the name of Emily?
Oh, you mean that famous perfumer?
She's a good friend of mine. She's lent me her aid several times in the past to resolve some difficult cases. After I discovered the rainbow rose at the scene of the murder, I sent it to her. After all, she's probably the foremost expert on flowers and scents in all of Fontaine.
And then?
There was nothing remarkable about the flower or the trace amounts of soil left on it. But according to Emily, the rainbow rose left by the killer was derived from a very rare cultivar.
Huh. Paimon didn't know that there were different varieties of rainbow rose. Paimon just thought they grew everywhere in the wild.
Flowers that are deliberately cultivated will always show some different features from those that bloom in the wild. We already knew that the rose left at the scene belonged to a special cultivar, but with Emily's expertise, we were able to pinpoint the place where it was first picked from.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. So whoever first planted that rainbow rose was probably the killer.
Precisely. And after we checked what we learned against some sales records from the past, we discovered that there's only one person in all of Fontaine who could grow and sell this specific cultivar.
Really? And who is it?
It's the novelist.
Vaya por Dios.
Didn't you say he had an
To be clear, I haven't changed my mind about him. I still don't think he was the one who pulled the trigger. However, that doesn't mean the true culprit never visited him at his home or never purchased a rainbow rose from his garden. Whatever the case, we will have to confirm a number of things with him.
So you mean the next place we need to go is...
Yes, we're going to pay him a visit at his...
Muy bien, vamos. Porque vive tan apartado de la ciudad.
That should be his house.
There are so many Gardamex stationed around the place. That's pretty unusual, right?
According to what he told me last time we spoke, he hired them so he won't be harassed or disturbed.
Huh. So there are a lot of flowers in his garden, but Paimon doesn't think we'll be able to pick one without alerting the Gardamex.
Right, which is exactly why I think there has to be a special connection between him and the killer.
So, should we knock?
Just wait here for now. I'd like to take care of a number of those Gardamex first.
But they're so far away.
Don't forget, Paimon, I'm actually the real-life captain of the Musketeers.
Tranquilo. Cuánta violencia, Shibrus. Pero por eso me caes bien. Dios. Listo. Oye, eso está muy chido, eh. Espero que hagan más misiones así, oye, eso me gustó mucho. Espero que pronto hagan más misiones así.
All clear. Let's go.
Oh, wait! Paimon's a little nervous now that we know he could be the killer.
Ay, estás con Chevrolet y la viajera, ¿qué te va a pasar a ti?
I'll go knock on the door and make sure it's safe inside. Once we're sure that we're in the clear, I'll ask him to come with us for a quick round of questioning at the guard's headquarters.
But can't we just arrest him?
We still have no evidence that he's the killer, or that he lent the killer any direct aid. Still, it would be appreciated if you could pick a rainbow rose from his garden for me while I'm talking to him. It'll help the Marashose Phantom confirm Emily's theory.
Muy bien.
Sure, no problem. Just be careful, Chevros.
Me acuerdo que ese lugar sí venía mucho y sí está lleno de robots, de esos robots.
Excuse me, Mr. Baptiste, are you home?
Who could it be at this hour? Oh, it's you, Officer Shovras.
Would you mind accompanying me to the guard's headquarters, Mr. Baptiste? We would like to ask you some questions about a case.
Oh, is it still regarding the murder case from before?
I cannot confirm or deny that at this time.
So it is then.
Listen, I need you to come with me, Mr. Baptiste.
Miss Shovras, I'll save you the trouble. Oh, and you two over there? There's no need for you to pick my flowers either. It's not time for them to bloom yet.
Oh! Okay.
By saving me the trouble, you mean...
I will confess, I was the killer.
¿What?
Huh?
He just admitted he's guilty.
Please relax, everyone. I'm not armed. The musket you're looking for has been buried in my backyard.
Then it's my responsibility to inform you, Mr. Baptiste, that everything you say right now will be used as evidence for the inevitable trial.
Yes, I am perfectly aware of that.
I must say, I hate...
Oh? Is it because I confessed? Or because you've been proven wrong?
Both, I suppose.
For the same reason as the one I wrote out in my novel, of course. I did it to exact revenge. I know you haven't figured out the link between the two of us. Had you done so, I'd have been taken away to the headquarters a long time ago. But that won't stop me from always remembering his grotesque face. After all,
Your mother is still healthy and well.
you know, I was adopted as a child. I was referring to my birth mother.
That was never recorded in the orphanage's records.
Please forgive a 6-year-old child for concocting some lies to protect himself after watching his mother die right in front of him.
So, your novel, it was like a record of your life?
No, of course not. It was a work of fiction with many embellished parts. But I am indeed the illegitimate son of a wealthy and influential man who abused his power to murder my mother. That part.
But the man you killed didn't have a Mora to his name.
He was a hired assassin, an irredeemable beast who sank his fangs into a defenseless woman just for a few bags of Mora.
But if that's really the truth, you wouldn't be telling us any of this now. You still haven't managed to take revenge against your father, the true mastermind behind it all.
I never thought I'd hear that kind of thing from the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
I'm simply skeptical about your motives.
It's simple, really. I've grown tired of everything and don't want to shoulder this burden anymore. You may have considered me too soft to pull the trigger. Well, as it turns out, you are exactly right. I've become overwhelmed by the aftermath of the murder.
So you're going to call a stop to your revenge, just like that.
The true mastermind is too rich and too powerful for me.
And so what? The characters in your book never gave up.
Now, Officer Shavras, I'm the one who has killed a man, aren't I?
What's your father's name? How do you plan to prove the veracity of all of your claims?
Well, I'd like to speak with you privately.
Sure. Why don't we speak privately at the guard's headquarters?
No, it has to be here. I must ensure that we won't be overheard.
Fine. Let's talk here.
When I said won't be overheard, I meant by anyone. I would like to speak with you and you alone.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Please stay safe, Shavras.
All right.
Vaya giro dio la historia.
Will you really believe what I'm about to say?
Well, that depends on what you're going to tell me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So that's how it's all connected.
So, it seems you believe me after all.
Do you want me to go public with this?
No, of course not. At least, not right now.
Then why did you bother telling me?
You've read my work. What do you think? Even if you were to go public with all of this right now, he'd simply deny everything. It's been too long. Almost 20 years. Anything that could be used as evidence has long faded away. Even if there might have been a solitary island of truth once upon a time, it has long sunk beneath the waves by now. Justice will never find him.
Not if you don't try.
I know that as the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, you will always stand on the side of justice. But do you really think a cushy life in prison really constitutes justice for him? I bet he could lead an extreme...
El Rosley no se lo permitiría. El Rosley no se lo permitirá por dar el montón.
I've been observing you from a distance. Your portrayal of the musketeer was exquisite. Pull the trigger of justice against him. Let the villain get what he deserves.
You want me to let you go so you may complete your revenge?
No, Officer Shavras. I know that would be impossible. No. What I'd like is for you to perform the deed on my...
Mientras tanto, en un lugar cercano.
Oh, Shavras sure is taking her time. What? Paimon's worried. What if he decided to attack her? Oh, you do have a point. Still, do you have any idea who the rich person might be? And why the novelist doesn't want us to hear what he's saying to Shavras?
Sorry to keep you waiting, you two.
Hey, how did your talk go?
I've already sent someone to escort Baptiste back to the headquarters for questioning. He wasn't lying about the musket. It was indeed buried in his backyard.
But what about the name? Did he tell you the name of the rich guy?
Yes, he did. But for now, I have to return to the Special Patrol. There's...
Muy bien.
I'll probably be quite busy over the next few days, so apologies if you don't see me on set.
All right. Paimon understands if you can't tell us everything you know. We'll just...
Actually, there's still something else I need your help with.
La isla entre la bruma. Muy bien, ahora sí, ya tenemos las dos partes de la historia. Creo que me tomó... la tercera parte no estaba tan larga, de hecho. Pero bueno, chicos, ya saben cómo me encanta a mí terminar los directos, así que... Porque eso también es algo que yo quiero estar haciendo. De hecho, enfrentar a la Shogun quiero enfrentarla un total de 365 veces, un total de un año. Y que aparezca en el próximo aniversario. Es por eso que me la estoy chingando un montón. Sería bueno, nunca he ido con el Xiao, ahora que me acuerdo, nunca lo he enfrentado con Xiao. Bueno, en vez de Xiangli, vamos a poner Xiao. Digo, a Furina. Vamos a ver qué tal Furina. Hace mucho que no uso este equipo. Será un poco extraño, pero bueno. A ver si no prestar el arma a Xiao, por favor. Gracias. El único malo de mi Xiao es la recarga de energía. Tiene una pésima recarga de energía. No tiene nada técnicamente, solo el mínimo. No me acuerdo si las ultis están cargadas, así que vamos a dar un chequeo. Están todas a excepción de la del faltante, este mero. Con esto bastará. No vamos a curar a todos porque no quiero tener líos. Y tengo que esperarme a que se recargue otra vez la de Mona porque no quiero que se desperdicie eso. Veamos, Xiao sería capaz de cargarse a la Shoulder antes de que se transforme. Lo dudo porque yo máximo puedo usar la ulti antes de que se transforme. Solo una vez puedo usar la ulti. Y esto de que se esté teletransportando a cada rato, sí es muy mal esto. Muy bien, tengo que esperarme unos 20 segundos porque si no, ya solo faltan 10 segundos. Sabes que desaparece el efecto, solo hay que esperar 10 segundos para que se vuelva a usar. Pero bueno, creo que mientras estamos usando las ultis, creo que ya va a ir cargándose todo eso. Bueno, vamos a ver Team Xiao. Vamos a ver si tú eres capaz de cargarte a la Shogun antes de que se acabe el tiempo. Ya se fue. Es lo único malo, se va muy rápido. Le logré quitar la mitad de la vida, pero no creo que vaya más. Ya se transformó. No llegué a tiempo. No, Xiao, de mis mejores personajes, Xiao es el que menos le ha quitado. Qué rápido recarga el Bennett. Vamos a quitarnos la ulti para que no esté perdiendo vida constantemente. No me preocupes, tengo esto. Uy, si alcanzaste a hacer eso, cabrona. Bueno chicos, pues hasta aquí será el directo del día de hoy. Espero que como siempre les haya gustado. Tengo que hacer modificaciones a este personaje porque la recarga de energía es horrible. Si tuviera más recarga de energía, igual sí, sí estaría mejor. Creo que incluso sería de mis mejores. Pero como la recarga de energía es basura, sí que vamos a filtrar. A ver qué tenemos por aquí. Tengo recarga de energía, vida. Aquí tengo un ataque. Ese es el único que tengo. Vestir elemental. Aquí necesito que sea daño crítico. Mira, aquí hay uno, pero el problema es que ese tiene más prioridad crítica. A ver, vamos a mejorar este. A ver qué tal. A ver si aumenta un poquito más la recarga de energía. Ah, espérate. El artefacto ya está un poco mejorado. Y para nivel 16 no se mejora nada de prioridad crítica, pues ni modo. El artefacto no es bueno. Bueno, no, pues, tiene muy malo. Prioridad crítica, ese está muy bien. Vamos a ponerse este. Que se pierda un poquito de crítico, no es que nos vaya a afectar mucho. Pues ya ese es el único que tengo. Aquí tengo varios, pero ninguno increíble, la verdad. A ver, vamos a mejorar un poquito este. Y recarga de energía, si se mejora bien, igual uso este, Prioridad crítica me gusta. Aunque se mejore una vez el daño crítico, yo con eso me conformo. Prioridad crítica, perfecto. Una vez, con que una vez se mejore el daño crítico. Una vez, solo una vez. Vida, ok. A ver, por favor, daño crítico, necesito daño crítico. Daño crítico, me gusta el artefacto. Ese es el que tiene precisión. Pues va a perder un poquito y la prioridad crítica se va a quedar igual. Va a perder un poquitito de crítico y va a perder un poquito de ataque. Pero bueno. Bueno, ahora la recarga de energía ya subió un poquito, ¿saben? Bueno chicos, muchas gracias a todos los que estuvieron dentro de muchas gracias a todos los que estuvieron dentro de se los agradezco mucho, espero que como siempre les haya gustado y nos vemos hasta la